Hello students, today we're going to be covering the complete history of the monster Scylla. Wait, hold on. Didn't I just say those exact same words at the beginning of my last video? Am I going crazy? Oh right. I covered the Monsterverse Titan, also called Scylla, last time. Well, this time we're going to look at a completely unrelated Ultraman monster with the exact same name, from the film Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Dyna, and Ultraman Gaia, The Decisive Battle in Hyperspace. Well, now that I know that I'm not completely insane, let's get started. Keiichi Hasegawa, the head writer of Ultraman Dyna, was brought on to write the screenplay for the Decisive Battle in Hyperspace film, and was likely the one who created Scylla, but even if not, I'm sure he had a say in what the monster did in the film. Apparently, in the first draft, the monster was instead called Shiva. Eventually, the name was switched to Scylla to reference the monster in Greek mythology. Well, at least Scylla seems to be the Englishified version of the name. In Japanese, it's apparently pronounced Sukyura, so if you want, you could call the monster that instead. There could be other ways of translating it too, but I'm going to go with Scylla because that's what I'm used to. The monster was designed by the concept artist behind a ton of the Ultraman Gaia and other Heisei-era characters, Hiroshi Maruyama, and if I'm understanding my source correctly, it seems Scylla had the design motif of a circle. I guess the monster's giant jaw that curls at the end is supposed to make the creature look circular? To tell the truth, I wouldn't have guessed that without reading it. Both a suit and miniature that was a third of the size of the suit were created to portray the monster by... well, I couldn't determine who made them, unfortunately, though my guess is Kaimai Productions, since they were behind the construction of the monsters in the Gaia show, which was still on TV at the time the movie came out. Scylla's biggest claim to fame is its gigantic jaw, which can open way wider than you would at first expect, and on the suit, this part of the creature could be moved by puppeteers. Koichi Toshima got to wear the costume, and just looking at the suit, I can tell he probably wasn't too comfortable in there. But maybe he got to have a little fun for this shot, riding along on a little cart on tracks. I think it's safe to assume he wasn't in the suit for this shot, though. Isn't behind-the-scenes footage the best? I'm really happy I found this. According to Ultraman Wiki, Scylla's roars are stock alligator hisses. Quite fitting for an aquatic creature with a giant mouth. That completes the behind-the-scenes history. Let us now venture forth into the parallel universe that the monster called home and check out its in-universe history. In the movie, these kids, under the influence of a dangerous wish-granting red sphere that they had stolen from another child named Tsutomu, were brainstorming ideas for monsters they should wish for. To help figure out what they wanted, they used clay to design the kaiju. This boy, named Kohei I believe, dreamed up the kaiju Scylla and excitedly made the monster roar. However, the leader of the trio of bullies Kohei was a part of, named Hiroshi, criticized both his creation and the clay prototype kaiju Baraguirus his friend Wataru had made, saying they weren't ferocious enough. The head bully then unveiled his creation, called King of Mons, which both Kohei and Wataru thought looked awesome. Hiroshi's design would of course end up being the one the team went with. However, the trio's leader must have seen at least some potential in the kaiju designs his friends had made, because he decided to pull the model Scylla's mouth and Baraguirus' wings off of the sculptures to further enhance King of Mons. Scylla's mouth was attached to the monster's abdomen, which allowed the monster to trap his opponents in a painful grip once it was eventually summoned. However, Hiroshi's monster design wasn't the only one that became a reality. After Gamu transformed into Ultraman Gaia to fight King of Mons, the Red Sphere ended up controlling Tsutomu's friend named Yu to summon 2 more monsters to the battlefield. But for some reason, rather than picking a monster from his own imagination, he wished for Baraguirus and Scylla to appear. Maybe the Red Sphere figured that would be easier to accomplish. Moments later, the areas on King of Mons' body that had been plucked off of the other kaiju began to morph, to resemble the designs Kohei and Wataru had made. The monster's wings became the kaiju Baraguirus, and his stomach morphed into the kaiju Scylla, both of which split off of the monster. Scylla was now a real kaiju, with the cool hairdo and all. Despite this though, King of Mons somehow still got to keep his Scylla teeth and Baraguirus wings, meaning he wasn't at all weakened by this. Ultraman Gaia now had a lot more trouble on his hands. Baraguirus whacked Gaia into a building, and Scylla waddled over and sent the Ultra tumbling with a ram that caused a small explosion. Later, Baraguirus swiped at Gaia, causing him to fall against Scylla, who made Gaia react as if he'd been attacked, without doing anything. Not sure what happened there. Soon after, Scylla quickly lifted its head up, causing Gaia to fall to the ground, at which point his color timer began to blink. As Tsutomu tried to wish the monsters away, Scylla bashed Gaia again, sending him way up into the air. The other monsters were of course getting hits in too. But then Tsutomu was finally able to think of a valid wish that could help eliminate the monsters. He wished for Ultraman Tiga and Dyna to appear. After the Ultras rescued all the kids from the destroyed school where they were trapped... destroyed school? Yikes, that's my worst nightmare. But anyway, after the Ultras saved the kids, they then quickly turned to give Gaia a helping hand, and hit Scylla and Baraguirus with energy beams. Ultraman Tiga then made up his mind to be the one to take on Scylla, and leapt onto the aquatic monster's back. He started whacking the creature in the back of the head, but Scylla was able to shake him off. So Tiga took hold of the beast and started spinning around before tossing the monster into the ocean. But perhaps that wasn't the wisest idea, because the creature was right at home in the water. Tiga dove in after the creature and chased the kaiju, but the aquatic beast suddenly turned around and slammed into Tiga, knocking him to the seafloor. Scylla followed Tiga down there, and the fight went on. Tiga grabbed the monster, but backed away looking shocked when Scylla suddenly opened its mouth incredibly wide. They call this Scylla's secret jaw, probably because it doesn't look like it can open that wide. Scylla then dodged a punch from Tiga and took hold of Tiga with its mouth, trapping the hero. The movie then cut away from Tiga's fight, and when it finally refocused on him, nothing had improved. It seemed as though Scylla was trying to swallow the Ultra. Moments later, though, the Ultraman was able to break free, and then Ultraman Tiga began to charge up his Zephyrian beam. Uh-oh, Scylla, do you have an answer for this? Let's see. Nope, apparently not. That was the end of the Big Jaw Sea Monster. Scylla hasn't returned for a completely new appearance in live action since this movie, unless you count Ultraman Arc, since King of Mons was present in the show, and thus the roof of Scylla's mouth was also there. But I think you'll agree that doesn't really count. The monster does have some minor appearances, though. The kaiju appeared via stock footage in the New Century Ultraman Legends short shown before the film Ultraman Cosmos 2: The Blue Planet, and in Episode 7 of the manga, Mega Monster Battle Ultra Adventure Neo by Shinji Nishikawa, the monster returned and apparently battled Kanagon. In Ultraman Ginga, a Scylla figure could be spotted among this Spark Doll collection, hidden next to this Hyper Zeton Spark Doll. Scylla was also present in the Mega Monster Rush Ultra Frontier game, as well as both Mega Monster Battle Ultra Coliseum Wii games, and I believe at least one of the other Mega Monster Battle games as well. It's kind of a toss-up to me whether this kaiju belongs in the Forgotten Monsters Hall of Fame. I mean, people don't seem to think about it too much, but it's related to the memorable King of Mons, who definitely isn't forgotten right now. What do you think, students? Now, unlike the Scylla we covered last time, there is actually some official merchandise of this Scylla available right now. Namely, an Ultra Monster series figure, shown here, complete with the huge secret jaw. It was re-released several times, which explains why several different colors exist. The version I have in my personal collection is a pinkish color on the top, but I've also seen a yellow and a whitish version as well. I've got a pink one like the one in my collection available for sale on my eBay store, which you can visit by clicking the link in the description. And I'm planning to list one of the yellow ones pretty soon, so if you would like to buy it, keep your eyes out for it. Other than having a Mega Monster Battle era card, I think that might be all the official Scylla merch there is so far. King of Mons was recently added to the new Ultra Monster series, but Baraguirus and Scylla were not. We'll have to see if that changes in the future. And with that, I have now covered the complete history of Scylla twice. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, be sure to like, subscribe, and...
Hey, Professor, do you want to see this art piece I made that I entered in an art show a few days ago?
Well, I guess I'm done teaching for today, so sure. Wait, is this the art show Kishimu-kun won?
Yes. But I came in 34th place.
Oh, is that good?
Well, there were 34 entries. I probably should have entered a drawing instead. Pencils are kinda my thing, after all. But they said my clay sculpture wasn't that bad, it just wasn't ferocious enough. Here it is, a monster I designed.
What? It looks just like the clay sculpture that Scylla was based on, from the classroom that was destroyed soon after! Give me that! It's not safe. It'll destroy the school. Where's the nearest garbage disposal?
My creation.
Don't feel too bad, Pencil Leopard. The professor just hates art now for some reason.